What's going on? 22 here with a CGC unboxing. Now, this one has been like 6 months in the making right here. This little book right here is going through a hard time. So let's crack this open. Let's check it out. While I'm opening it up, you got a little bit of backstory. If you don't know already, if you're new to the channel, those of you who are not, you probably know what book this actually is. I do already know the grade to it. I was very impatient like a child and had to go ahead and figure out the grade. This is a book that has been sent back now twice. And it's been sent back because of mechanical errors. The first time around when I got this book and received it, it was a CGC 9.8. Now, when I first got it, there was a lot of wobble, there was a lot of play on the top of the casing, so I sent it back in for mechanical error. It came back the same grade before, however, it came back with a major defect. So I called CGC up again, told them this was clearly not a 9.8 anymore, and they wanted it back. Great, sent it back in, so now I have finally gotten my hands back on it. We're also going to discuss customer service that I've dealt with so far with CGC, how they've been handling this, and also we're going to talk about another book that I have in my collection that relates to this. However, it is not a CGC book. So, without further ado, here is the book in question. It is My Secret Wars #1. This is the Cheong variant. This is a 1 in 100 ratio book. I found this in the back bins and stuff like that. One of the books that I actually was really proud of and was really excited to get it up on like eBay and have it out there for somebody to pick up. Here is the new grade for this book. That's right, a CGC 9.2. Now, what did they do to mess it up? If you look right here in this top corner, they tore that cover. I don't know how deep, I don't know how far, I don't know anything other than what I can see from right there. And it's a crazy tear right there in that top corner. So that brought this book down from a 9.8 to a 9.2. When you're dealing with their customer service and you have an issue like this, be aware that when you get the email, it's not going to say CGC necessarily on the front end of it. Mine said the lady's name that was going to be dealing with me as far as compensation and things like that. In her email that she sent to me that was back towards the end of June, actually, she said, you know, this is what the grade was going to be. And she also said they had already looked into the value of my book, said that it was valued at $100, and so they're going to give me the book back in a 9.2 plus $100 credit. Since finding that email, because I honestly didn't even find it till like the middle of July when I've actually found that email. I've since then responded back, giving reasons why I think that $100 is actually less than what the book is worth or valued at. I believe they used probably eBay's last solds, because the last two that have sold on eBay were like around or actually less than $100. And I think people honestly just got good deals on those, because if you look at all the sales back behind that, they were $150 to $300. That's why I don't use eBay last sales most of the time, because I know the deals that I get and stuff like that and the deals that I look for. And using eBay last sold, I think, kind of doesn't paint the entire picture of like what a book's actual value is. That's why I like to use cover price. So cover price, this book is about a $327 like fair market value book. I think that's high. I think that's on the high end of what this book actually is, honestly. I looked at another one and it came out to about 175, close to 200. And then, you know, if you take the eBay stuff and stuff like that, I think that it averaged out close to around $200 or so. I think this to be a $175 to $250 book is what I think this is actually probably valued at in a 9.8. So we'll see. I have not received anything back yet. Hopefully I'll hear back something soon. But so far, without anything from me, they've offered me the book in the proper grade and $100 credit. So I'm digging that. I am liking that. I think it's valued at more than $100. Now, let's do an actual comparison between a slab that I just had done last year that I really had beef with, and this one right here. Again, I'm going to show y'all again real quick the tear that's in this one. So you'll get a good idea of what CGC is considering, you know. Hey, this is a 9.2 by the standard. Alright, and everything I always heard was like if you had a graded book that was an 8, a 7, something like that, but it had a rip in it, that it would take it down a grade. Again, those of you who know my channel, you know this notorious book right here. This is Champions #1. This is a 9.8 PGX. Alright, I sent this in when I was testing out PGX, trying to get an actual idea of what I think of them. Not what everybody else thinks, but what I thought of them. It does have a tear in the top right corner, so let's take a look at that real quick. You can see where it's got the little bend right there. It makes a nice little square, honestly. So I don't think the tear is necessarily as bad as the one that's on the Secret Wars. However, it is a tear, and PGX still gave this a 9.8. Now, this could be due to them missing that tear. Honestly, when I first did my review of the book, I missed the tear. I forgot that this thing had a tear in it as well. But nonetheless, it does have one in there. I think that graders for grading companies should be more thorough than me, and I feel like I'm pretty thorough about stuff. As far as my experience with CGC right now, I'm going to continue to send books to them. Yes, they did damage one of my big books, but this things happen, accidents happen, and they have been trying to take care of the situation the best that they can considering the circumstances, and I don't know that I can ask much else of that. Does it suck? It absolutely sucks, but again, it just, accidents happen. So this is the first time that I've ever had this happen to me personally, or anything like this, honestly. The one lesson I will say is that if the case is a little wonky, I'm not sending it back, because apparently they have to take it out of the well and regrade and all that other jazz. Unless it's broke, I will not be sending books back to CGC. That's the lesson, the thing that I am taking away from this. I hate that it has to be that way, but I can't risk, again, having this happen. So, as far as their customer service, CGC's customer service is great. Everybody that I've talked to, any and every time that I've ever had a problem, which has not been many at all, most of the people has been because of this thing right here. They've all been nice. I can understand everything that they were saying, and they've all been very apologetic and really tried to actually fix my problems and stuff like that. So, been very, very pleased with CGC's customer service, and honestly, that means a lot. Thank y'all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. You can find me on a podcast every Monday. New episodes drop on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go check it out. It's called Comically Comics Podcast. You can also find me on Instagram and eBay at 22_comics. Once again, thank y'all so much for watching, and as always, y'all have a good one.